But Jim, today's another go at this thing we do at 12:30 to bring health, bring an edge of personal health. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to simplify this down from what 20 years of knowledge goes down to make it so simple so you get on board with what we're talking about. We're talking about your health is the greatest you possibly have in your life. I know I hit this, I don't really care. And hear this. And that's part of it. Please share this out. I need your help. I need to get known. I need this out there because we are living in society right now. Doesn't have to look. You don't. It's all around you. Okay, we are in a very unhealthy society right now, and the message that we're putting out, more people need to hear that. So please share the, say to people today. Fitness industry. And by that, what we're going to talk about is we're the business pond. And in gym, remember, you're thinking about the board here. I'm going to make some things very, very, very coach on. You can challenge your gym on. You can challenge your personal trainer, your health coach, your life coach, whatever it is. Because there's a lot of words, bullshit rolling around out there that you don't need to. There's like many that came out that said a bread that toast. It's ridiculous. I mean, maybe if not, but we're not amounts of it. But please share. No, like if this message doesn't have a tree, I don't know how it makes it in the air, but if there's no ear to pick it up, I know what the message still holds. Share this, about it. People need to know it. But one of the big areas is that you think that your gym, or that a gym that you've been to, needs to improve upon. Please write in the comment section below. Write it in there. It can even be about great gym. I want to hear the complaint. I don't want anybody to be an asshole, but at the same time, I want to hear the complaint. Otherwise, I cannot do anything to improve upon it. I can't actually make it right. I can't improve. If I don't know what the problem is, then I can't correct the problem. Place to be the absolute most incredible gym on the face of the earth. We didn't paint the walls. It's not all so wonderful, and if you slam a barbell into it, it's not that big of a deal. No, it's under the wall, right? It's a real gym where real people work out. And there's no bullshit here. We wanted to, like, it should feel like. Share with me, tell me some of the stuff, and tell everybody what is your to that they could have they could better parking. Thanks, Jason. Better parking. I think that's something that we could actually improve upon. Just calling people up. Even if we did see them yesterday, just calling them, because there's a big difference between being on the phone or in just one-on-one. Well, we still do that, but I think that we could do that even more. But all right, here we go. All right, so what are some of mine? Because actually is actually probably I'm in two polar opposite ends here. By far, outrageously trading the market better than it's ever been. This is we're still only penetrated about 12% of the population type of gym membership. Yes, it's really kind of sucks, but it's better than what it has been in the industry. It's virgin. It started back after the Second World War, so it's really only what is so. This is an extremely this for centuries upon centuries the way that we now. It is now smarter. You know, many things, it muddled things up because all of a sudden you got all to do with kind of the same thing happens. Flood of information the U.S. figured out, holy, at least 250 to 300 years ahead of us. What do we do? And I think to where that Eastern Bloc was in terms of training, I think everything up, and I still think there's our athletics still compete this. You know, we're basically dealing with the melting pot of the United States is basically dealing with the melting pot of all this athletic population, you know, and one just happens to rise out of the ashes as an anomaly, whereas over there, they're building the athlete. You know, how does that happen? How can they compete with such an environment like the U.S. is as just randomly gotten? But history of started out these big health clubs that might have had a swimming pool and some weights, mostly populated by dudes and women, and they down room where it's like things that just shook the shit out of you and shit out of you, but they just massage you. Every jiggles on your back, this band that goes back and forth like that. You know, that's kind of has come from. So you don't have the best. So, however, nutrition is on downhill. So as exercise is more educated, I think the fitness as a mainstream fitness, I think, has gone downhill considerably. Back then, drink, you know, that kind of thing, like, was for considering grass-fed beef, you know, so it's a different product. It's to great milk. That's, I think communication came in, but the diabetes, it's almost like it's conspiracy theory there on over the last 30 years, the 30, 50 years. I think we did better on it, but now we're kind of, the diabetes thing also created this huge surge of research to do, so we're taking in knowledge now. So I think we're going to learn a lot. A lot of this stuff that's coming out right now is going in, and we're going to throw a lot of it and see how it actually affects. I think we're going to learn nutrition in the next 20 years, and we're going to know more about, I would say, that the mainstream nutritional advice is mostly garbage. The mainstream exercise advice has gotten so confusing that I think people have just a real hard time. I think mainstream has talking about actual professionals. I think professionals like me, you know, people who do what I do, not like what I do, have a really hard time understanding what's going on and deciphering how they should work and do that kind of stuff. So what I'm trying to give to you guys is an insight into how can you talk to your personal trainer and your strength coach and your health coach or your life coach or whatever it is about exercise, so that you know that you're getting a good coach. And one of the things that I do, I have a lot of coaches. I believe in coaching, 100%. You want to be absolutely incredible at anything, you get a coach. I think I told you this in a video last week. At one point, yes, individualized coaching. Everything has to be individual. It has to be tailored to the individual. Thanks, Rach. But I think I told you last in my life, I had the same relationship over and over and over and over again. And eventually, I was just like, I'm the common denominator. If every one of these girls is crazy, and every one of them sucks, and every time that I have a girlfriend, it blows, and every time I have a real, like someone that I consider a friend, it sucks. You're just a fair weather friend, it just blows. I hate this. And so I had to turn the lens on me and say, okay, I'm going to get a relationship coach. I'm going to figure out how relationships work. So I had tons of books on the subject. I went and I got coaching. Strength and conditioning, I do the same thing. I have a strength and conditioning coach. I have tons of mentors, actually, that I'll write emails to. We talk back and forth. Weekend, we're going to go down to Kansas City. Got a bunch of guys about how they do strength and conditioning so that we can bounce ideas back on the internet, actually in person, so that it's different with your coach. And one of the ways how to fire a coach, I mean trash him, I mean get rid of him, I mean I don't anymore, is if you confront me. If they're just sitting there, I get rid of them. I'm not paying you to make me feel good. I don't want it. You're a waste of space and a waste of time. I'm paying you to convert. I want to be incredible at whatever it is I'm trying. Business, or it's relationship, mindset, nutrition, health, whatever. What are our 4 main resources? Health, wealth, relationships, time. If it's in any of those, I want you to. That's what I want from a coach. And if a coach doesn't give you that, it doesn't give them out. Okay, I finish up my cycle and I'm out. First things I use, I want the confrontation, I want the challenge, I want them, and if I have to confront them, it's time to go. But the fitness industry is really missing, really needs improvement, really needs to improve upon. It is shoving down this idea, shoving this idea down. It's you have to jog all the time. You have to jog 5 miles a day, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're a football player. The quickest way to ruin an athlete cross country, the quickest way to perform a performance sport like football, wrestling, basketball, baseball. Okay, it's a totally different sport, and depending on your cross part, country for cross country, then awesome. If you're a long distance runner, that's great for you. But the fitness industry is missing out on 3 big things. 3 things. The biggest things that the fitness industry is all tied to force production. It's power, speed, on that order. You need strength first. You need speed last. To hit those 3, humans, we are not good at. We are not good. We are extremely good at running long distances. Extremely good at keeping a galloping pace. Okay, we can actually run. What's this? I'll need a miss. Yeah. All right, Nick. That's cool, man. Galloping pace because we ran out of these that couldn't run their food to death, didn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. So the only ones that did pass on their genes became us. We are extremely good at this. We are not good at keeping strength, speed, power. We lose these pretty quickly. And I mean quickly as in about 5 days. You're going to lose power within about 10. You're going to lose strength within 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Days. That's it. And it's gone. You start losing all your strength. You have to have speed. You have to have power. You have to have strength. It is, when people tell me, oh, I jog to get my exercise. Like on some level, yes, great, way to go, yay, you know. Also, but you don't get the option of not working on strength, not working on speed, not working on power. You don't get those options. You do not get those options. So few gyms out there are focusing on this. Even the ones that do Olympic medicine balls and do heavy lifting, if it's in a circuit where by the time you get to the bar, it is no longer power, it is no longer strength, it is a conditioning circuit, it is not that. Gyms is number 4. There's number 4 on this list. Gyms are doing way too much cardio. The emphasis shouldn't be on that. Cardio is important. I need to back up a little bit here. Cardio is important. We need a life and endurance. We need those if we want good program, and that goes for all humans. There's not a human out there that's not going to benefit from those 3. How we get that though? So do we put them on a bike? Do we put them on a treadmill? Do we walk them outside? Do we go out in nature? Do we turk it? What is it? That's completely dependent on the person. But they're doing too much cardio, and especially too much emphasis on endurance. You need to get rid of that. You're supposed to go out and jog 5 miles every day. I'm bursting your bubble to say this, but it's stupid. Rach, I have that in the list here pretty soon, so I'm going to get to that. Lack of proper form should be in there. There's a lot of coaches that I'll get in that kind of. That would be spurted. It's a really good one. Aaron, info out there. People think they can do it themselves without a coach. That's one of those funny things to me. Like if I try car and screw around with it and take certain parts of the engine apart, I could probably do that. I'm not saying, but I would probably still have parts left over, right? At some things. Amanda, don't be hating on me. I'm not hating on you. You have to run. You don't get to run no matter what. That's going to be your training. You got to run all. But yeah, I remember. But yeah, if I was working on a car from 1970, I'd take it all apart, put it back together. I'd be like, what was this nut to? What was this nut? I have these parts. Like, why do I have these parts? And that's on an old day. And I look to the inside and be like, what is, I have no idea, completely out. I don't think that people are qualified to do this kind of stuff. Sometimes people come in here and they're like all yoked up and they think, I understand that they think they know a lot about this stuff, but just because you've been lifting the same thing, you know a lot about this stuff. And I see that on a pretty regular basis. And it's not always easy to watch. Somebody might be walking in here in just a second. Fair warning. But too much cardio. And then the other thing that people do is they're trying to fit round pegs. And what I mean, bodies are all a little different. We do the anatomy tech, so arms out, your feet are, your legs are kind of apart and nice and tall. So your weight is your height. Bodies aren't actually shaped that way. Everybody is a little different. Like, you look at Kevin Durant, he has a 7'6" wingspan, I think it is, and I think feet tall. 7'6" wingspan from fingertip to touchdown. That's insane. I'm 6'4". I don't think that my wingspan is 6'4". The shoulder capsules, some people have capsules. We have a kid in here right now. He tore his labrum in his hip, and for the reason he tore his labrum is because every coach he has is telling him to go after grass in the weight room every single time. How do we tear our labrum and we get in this huge layback position? This is how baseball players throw it. This is how most people tear up their labrum. They get kind of caught back like this, doing something, and it rips open that labrum. In the hip, if you have a deep hip socket, okay, if you're I don't know how to show this in my hands. Don't know what to do with my hands. Here, as ever seen. Don't know what to do with my hands. But depending on your hip socket, a hip socket is shaped just a little bit different to the bottom. And his hip socket, so structurally, he has a restriction. He will blow out that labrum. When I put this kid through our hip assessment, it's like, dude, you should be parallel. And yet, when you watch him do his squats, he just jams his butt down to the floor as far as he can. This is really bad. This is really bad on that labrum because he's tearing it open every time that he does a squat. This is good, but he's kind of ignorant. He means, good intentions. But, squatting, is everybody pressing? Is everybody qualified to do chin-ups and pull-ups? I'm going to tell you that right next to you like this, a weak rotator cuff, chin up on the, just not going to be a thing. Drop straight down like that, it's not going to be a thing. So exercise prescription becomes this really, like, general population doesn't need, this is why you get a coach, because a coach should know this stuff. You got to make sure that they're qualified. Reps to failure is stupid. You should not be doing reps to failure. Maybe like once during the entire year if you're a bodybuilder, or weight to failure. You're just going to go as heavy as you can. Your body doesn't get stronger that way. It just gets that beat up, yucky, very technical term. But you don't want to be doing this stuff. Your muscles to fatigue, or you don't want to be working your posture muscles. You see the body making them, and they're doing all that stuff. They're squatting. I don't want to do that. That's not good for your muscles. That's not good for your body. You're going to stand. How are you going to move around? How are you going to do this? All this stuff. That wasn't anything. There's something from it's stupid, and this gets into education. Does educated is a problem. Once in a while I run into a coach who, because if you're in this industry, you don't get to say it's just for the money. You just don't. You just don't. Most of us that are in this for 6 to 8 years actually have some level of mental breakdown, somewhere between 6 and 8, and make it past the average life expectancy of somebody in this industry is 18 months. The level of energy, the level of customer service, the level of in this job actually wears on you so mentally that you can't keep it up for an extended period of time without some level of compromise. And most of us years, apparently. But every once in a while I run into a coach that says, what's different about us? We care. I'm just like, you're not. Like, what an asshole thing to say. Like, everybody cares, dude. I was like, so how many, and so this is what I always follow. Oh yeah, how many books did you read last year? I don't say it like a jerk like I am now. I was like, how many books did you read last year? And they're like, oh, well, I picked up a couple fitness magazines. Yeah. And do not care. You do not care. Okay. So that's how one of the ways that I know that like a fitness professional that doesn't care but thinks that they do. If they're not caring enough to be educated. The other thing is a lot of gyms they don't prioritize injury prevention. That's the number one thing, and it will always be the number one thing. Nothing stops progress and motivation and inspiration and all that, like an injury. Nothing stops progress. A chiropractor, a physical therapist should be because it's your job rather than more, and that gets into the not focusing on health. Difference between health and fitness. They have it's like a Venn diagram, right? There's some things back and forth, but they're different. They're definitely different. What's different about them? Fitness is, there's an interesting thing that's in years where it fits everything. No, fitness means you're great at a task. The NFL, in the NFL right now, every big fat room without getting out of breath can only work for about 4 seconds before they're just so out of breath they can, more fit. Any marathon runner and any gym rat in the world, top level marathon runners. I should have left that one out. Fit is, it's how good are you at that task, not that you're great at everything. That's the opposite of fitness. You cannot sit on 2 horses with one ass. It's not going to happen. And I like to think that all things are possible. But good luck with the one ass. Not focusing on health, lack of understanding. Yeah, the health should be about exercise, nutrition, mindset. We have to challenge mindset. There is so much stuff up here that, it is amazing. Stuff like that you don't even know that you don't even know. And I still go through stuff. My coach, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even notice. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I know you've told me this 30 times over the past few years, and now it finally clicked. And I didn't even know that I didn't know, even though you told me, even though we've gone over it, even though we've talked about it, even though I've like meditated on it, analyzed it, I had no idea that I wasn't getting it. You don't even know that you don't know. A mindset is a big one. Nutrition really isn't much of an education game. Nutrition is just getting all the bullshit out of the way so you actually just can execute. Recovery is a lot the same way. There's so much stuff out, like it's not just about sleep. Okay, and exercise, you need to get a coach because this stuff is so insanely complicated. There's a reason why to do these on exercise. Most of them are on mind and recovery because those are a little bit more easier to talk about. They're a little got into the exercise stuff. We'd really start to have to pull out graphs and it'd be like a science thing involved. It'd be like, dude, you gotta like. But yeah, lack of focus on health, lack of understanding to the word fit, not prioritizing injury prevention, a ton. Okay, and this is the one that drives me the most nuts, and it probably most nuts is because I used to be this guy. Too big of an ego to communicate. I just think that the fitness industry is missing, that needs to be challenged. You need to challenge the fitness industry to tell them and show them who they really are by challenging them, because most of them are going to get angry, they're going to get frustrated. Why don't you just for what I say? Probably because you're full of crap and you have no idea what you're talking about. You need, like, the fitness industry needs to be able to communicate. One of the big areas of study for me over the last 3 years is how one of the that makes anyway that I reread every year, because I think it's such a big deal. Because I mean, without communication, without this transfer between you and me, I can't educate. I can't give out the message. I can have all the one that I can help if I can't communicate that. It's Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's extremely good. It allows me to build a relationship with the people that I work with, so that I have it under the case, so that what's going through what's going on inside their body I can deal with it while we're doing certain things, so they can actually progress. Without communication is a big thing that the fitness industry needs to get better at. Critical thought is probably the biggest one, though. The big thought. I mean, even just on is a calorie just a calorie. The best read on is a calorie just a calorie yet, because there's people that think, oh, you can eat just drink Coca-Cola all day, and if it meets your macronutrient level, your calorie level, you're going to be fine. Yes, we know that we need on something. Calorie intake are both, kind of symbiotic. Great book. Thanks, man. I reread it every year. Totally agree. But a calorie, yes, a calorie in the sense that molecule is just a water molecule. Atom is just atom. But is there a difference between eating 2,000 calories of junk and 2,000 meat, healthy, like grass-fed beef, kale, peaches, strawberries? Like how are we going to add this up? Obviously, they're both important. Type will solve almost every single one of everybody's problems. Trying to get into your, like, get in like an 8-pack, all this shit. You do not need to be focusing on anything but food type, because your body is just going to deal with those calories so much better. To absorb as many calories out clear as that. But what's going on, man? Perfect timing. You want to say hi? Sure. I'm really excited. We're all going to go. We're all going to go down to Kansas City this weekend for this event. I'll be open, but most of us will be gone. And we're going to be learning from some of the top people in the industry, strength and nutrition, how to cue your kids like that. So we're really excited. I think that not progressing in your career, you're actually got to get your micronutrients. Yeah, man, you totally do. You got to get your micronutrients. And the nutrition game, if you guys like that subject, the nutrition game, I just think it's so simple. It is not all this like the anti-sugar thing. You know, sugar is not toxin. It's not. It's ungodly amounts of it. You know, if you're stuck in the middle of the ocean, not just because it's salty, but also because you got so much around you that you're gonna know. The calories in, calories out thing is just really a silly debate. Eat better food, but I do think critical thought is one of the big ones that needs to improve upon. And you guys, with me learning a little bit more about business over the last, because you guys might not know this, but in 2014, Grit Gym almost just like rough. You know, that was my. There's some other things happening in my life. Kicked a few people out of here that were really negative, like kind of nasty people, one of them being around other people that were in here. And it was the right move, but at the same time, really bad timing. And anyway, started to suffer. I was like, what are we going to do? I didn't know what to do. Start hammering business books along with, so I had to read strength conditioning books, sports psych book, nutrition book, and then I had to add a business book on the end. And what I think of, like, one of the learned about business is this mystical thing that it's not, we are the drivers. You as the consumer, you decide where the market goes. You have audiences that fitness, exercise, nutrition, health is something that is important to you. Otherwise, something like this wouldn't be able to happen. There's no way, because no one, you know what I mean? So if you don't like Oreos, don't buy Oreos, and Oreo will either have to die. You know, if you don't like McDonald's, don't give it your money. It has to change, or it will die. You know, business is very, very simple. You guys drive the market. You guys, every dollar you spend, you decide that is a vote seat. If you come into Grit Gym and you slap your money down and you say, yes, I believe and will support you, you're getting something out of something that you paid for. How it works. But you gave a vote to support something. You said, I want more Grit Gym in the world. That's what I want. I want more, and I think I want to be a part of it. I want to support you out of it in return. Everybody wins in that scenario. No kidding here. You guys drive the market. I drive the market. And so if you have able to be a critical thinker, you know, all sugar, all this is bad, all that is bad. You know, there's gray area and everything. And usually I tend to see black and white on subjects, but I'm black and white simultaneously. I live in both these time, holding those two seriously. Very difficult to do. But if you don't have somebody and you're going there, like, there's so many of these gyms where I'm just like, I'll do that. Or they're so loyal to that gym because the tribal atmosphere. You got to think actually what's good for my body, because you only like you can take your car or you can go get a new car, or you can go and get okay. But they're not getting another one. You're not ever gonna have more health exact moment. At this exact, you have a certain amount of strength that you can go get, a certain amount of endurance you can go out of health just in general that you can go get that can prevent going to happen later. Higher quality of is not what we're going for here. Of life. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Anyway, I was all over the place there, that little rant. I don't know. But so wherever you put your dollars, be careful where you put your dollars, because that is that's you supporting. You buy Oreos? Okay. You want to see more McDonald's? Go spend your money at McDonald's. You want to see more Grit Gym? The reason we do this is to get known, because we have an important message. I've been studying this stuff. There's stuff out there that people need to know. It's going to be in their life. But if you know me, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Tim. All right, thanks, guys.